Hi guys, I'm here to do a tutorial on the album called The Story of a Boy that I made. The pages are 8.5 by 5.5 and they're made out of cardstock, and I used the Recollections brand cardstock from Michaels. This is the black. The tutorial I'm going to be doing is in the craft color, and so let's get started. First of all, the chipboard covers measure 9 by 6, and you'll need 2 of those. And the spine is 2.5 by 9. And so you'll make your chipboard covers. I have the hidden hinge binding system in there that Kathy Orta came up with. And I think I already have a tutorial on the covers, but I will go ahead and make a video on this one, just a refresher. So let's start out with all the cardstock pieces that you will need. You'll need 6 sheets that measure 8.5 by 5.5, and you don't score any of these. You need 6 sheets that measure 9.5 by 5, and you're going to score 2 places on here. So you're going to stick it into your scoreboard. Let's just run through this real quick. You're going to stick it in your scoreboard so that the 9.5-inch side is at the top. You're going to score at 1/2 inch and then at 9. Again, you need 6 of those. The next ones are, you're going to need 6 sheets that measure 8.5 by 3.25. And this stupid thing is doing its thing. Let me take it off autofocus. There we go. And you're going to score 1/2 inch on the 3.25 inch side. So what you're going to do is take one of these pieces so that the short side's at the top, so that's the 3.25 inch side, and you're going to score at 2 3/4, and you're going to do that on all 6 sheets. The next set, you're going to need 6 sheets that measure 9.5 by 3.5, and you're going to score on 2 short sides and 1 long side at 1/2 inch. So you're going to stick it in your scoreboard so that the 9.5 inch side is at the top. You're going to score at 1/2 inch and then at 9. You're going to rotate it and score at 3. Or, you know, if you prefer, you could score at 1/2 inch, but you just need to score 1/2 inch on 3 sides. The next set of cardstock you're going to need 12 sheets that measure 5.25 by 3.75. Oh no, I'm sorry, by 3.25. So 5.25 by 3.25. You need 12 of these, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch on 3 sides again. So you're going to stick it in your scoreboard. The 5.25 inch side is at the top. You're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to score at 4 3/4. Rotate your sheet so that it's at the 3.25 inch side is at the top, and you're going to score at 2 3/4 inches. And then the last set, you're going to need 6 that measure 9.5 by 2, and you're going to stick it in your scoreboard so that the 9.5 inch side is at the top, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to score at 9. So I'm done with my scoreboard. So you're going to fold on all your score marks, okay? And I'll run through each one of these so you know which side to put the score tape on. So the 9.5 by 2, the one that you scored at 1/2 inch and 9, you're going to fold them and then apply the score tape to them while they're in the folded position. The 12 pieces, you're going to do the same. You're going to fold on all your score marks and then apply score tape while they're in their folded position. The 9.5 by 3.5, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to fold them and then apply the score tape in the folded position. The 6 sheets that measure 8.5 by 3.25, you're going to fold them, but you're going to put the tape on where it's extended so that when you fold it over, the tape is hidden. So you want it on the inside on this one. And the 6 sheets that measure 9.5 by 5.5, you're going to fold it on the score marks and then apply the score tape in the folded position. So first thing that we're going to do is make our base pages. And these are the 6 that measure 9.5 by 5 and the 6 that measure 8.5 by 5 that aren't scored. So let me zoom out of here. There we go. Let me adjust this real quick. Sorry. I need to move it out so it's not so close. There we go. So I'm just taking a sheet and taking one of the sheets that have the score marks, and where is my, here we go. I just changed my blade on this, so hopefully I won't chop my finger off. I'm just going to take the tape backing off, maybe, and I'm going to apply it down, and this is going to make my base page. Just folding it. I'm going to turn it sideways because I like to see, to make sure it's lined up. I'm going to line it up on the top and along the edge on the bottom right here. Make sure it's lined up there, and then line it up there. And so I'm going to do that to the next 5 pages, and I'm actually going to try to edit. Is the flap that is right here. This part right here we're going to make. So we need the sheets that measure 6. We need 6 sheets that measure 8.5 by 3 1/4. The ones that we applied the score tape on the inside. So the first thing you're going to do is cut off that. Then you're going to take off the tape backing, and you're going to put it inside with the tape side facing up, and you're going to fold it over like that. Now I'm just going to set it this way. Then we're going to take 2 of these sheets and take off the tape backing on all 3 sides. Whoops. Maybe. Okay. And like I said, I like folding mine little sides down first and then the bottom up, so that when the tags go in, they do not get stuck on this. So then we're just going to apply this, line it up against the left edge and the bottom. Don't worry about the top, because if it's over, we can cut it off. But if it's over on the bottom, you can't cut it off. So that is what we're going to do. Just taking off the tape backing, folding my 2 sides in first, and then that. And now I'm lining it up. It should fit perfectly. Whoops. Why does it do that? Okay. And I'm just making sure that my tape is stuck down. I'll flip it over, and there's a little, some pieces on there that I can cut off. So, I'm just going to cut off the edge now. Like that. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and complete the whole, whoops, that didn't look good there. Okay, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put the pockets on this side. So this is the one that measures 6. Why do I keep on saying it measures 6? It doesn't, darn it. It's 9.5 by 3.5, okay? And this is the one that we scored on 3 sides as well. And this is going to be the bottom of the pocket, except for you don't really want to put the pocket down yet, okay? So you have these 2 there, and then you're going to take one piece that measures 9.5 by 2, okay? And you're going to take off the tape backing off of this one as well. And you're going to place this on here, but you only want 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up on my mat here, and with the tape side sticking up, right? And then I'm going to flip it over because I just want 1 inch sticking out. And you don't need to like cut the whole, I mean, I could have cut this pocket all the way, you know, to go down, but that's just kind of a waste of paper. And you can get more sheets this way. So then now what I'm going to do is stick my pocket like this. So now when I stick it on there, oh wait, let me make sure something. Yeah, that's right. Gonna line it up like this. Okay, so now I have a pocket here and it goes all the way to the bottom. And then this pocket goes all the way to the bottom. And then you don't have to waste a bunch of paper, in my opinion. I mean, you can cut it all the way down if you want. If that's what you want, then you're going to cut it to 4.5 and you're going to score at the 4-inch mark. So that is the basic. There's a pocket there. You flip it over. There's a pocket here, and there's a pocket here. Now you can round your corners, and I do like that. So let me find. I don't know. Maybe I'll use the scallop edge on this purple We Are Memory Keepers. And so let's see what that looks like. It looks like it doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to do that. Okay. So now I'm going to do one more and then slow motion, normal motion, normal motion. And then I'm going to speed up the rest of these pages here. I'm going to try not to do ×4 like I did before, but we shall see. So again, this is the piece that measures 1, 2, 3 1/4, and we scored it 1/2 inch, but we applied the score tape on the inside of the flap because you want to attach it to this piece here. And let me see if you can see this or not. Let me try to zoom in. I'm putting it on there just on the left side of the score mark. I don't know if you can see that, so that when it folds over, there's no obstruction, okay? So now I'm going to take the 2 pieces that are 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, and they're scored 1/2 inch on 2 short sides and 1 long side. I'm going to put them on these flaps here, and I'm going to get my head in the way. I'm not bald, really. That was just my forehead, okay? I have hair. I promise you. And then this, I just always wear it up in a ponytail. I did have it straightened today, but then I had a Red's hat on, so I didn't feel like doing it, so I just straightened it and stuck a hat on. Then it itched my forehead. I don't know how guys wear hats. This one's not too bad, and as far as the stuff sticking out of it, so I just have a little bit to trim. You do want to be careful that you don't actually trim your page that you put the pockets on, just so it doesn't look all wonky. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and round my corners now. Whoops. Okay, so now I'm flipping the page over and I'm doing this pocket here. So again, taking off all the tape backing, which of course is self-explanatory. I'm putting my piece here so it's lined up on my line here. Taking this piece and I am putting it on top. And I'm making sure that I'm lining this side up. Doesn't matter if the other side moves right now. What it matters is that this side moves and I can't seem to keep it straight. Making sure it's lined up along my score marks as well. And now this side should just line up too. Then got my tape sticking up there, so I'm going to fold that over. And I'm just going to flip my page over and make sure I'm doing it to the right side. And I'm going to apply it to my base page. So now I'm going to finish putting all these pages together, and I will come back with them all done in the next, whoops, see, that's why I hate nail polish. Look, I just scraped my finger on it. Anyway, I'm going to come back in the next video and I will make the covers, the binding, and show you how to attach the pages to the album. And that way that will help some people have had some questions on how to do that. So look out for part 2. Thanks. Bye.